Yes, people, welcome back to the channel. In this series I'm going to be talking about sandwiches. I bloody love sandwiches. I love anything that involves taking bread, whether that's sliced bread, a pita, a laffa, or tortilla, and putting it together with something inside. I'm going to be showing you my take on some of the classics, some a bit crazier than others. I'm going to be showing you some that I've come up with myself. This week, as you can see, I made a fish finger sandwich with tartar sauce. It's one of my absolute favourites, proper classic, good comfort food. So we're gonna go make that now. Let's crack on.
Right, first we're gonna get a nice sharp knife like this. So we're gonna cut our fish. I've got some coley, you can use cod or haddock. Or go down to your local fishmonger and just ask them what they've got. I'm sure they'll be delighted to help. We're gonna cut them down into couple of centimetre strips, but here I've just realised that they didn't descale it, so I'm just going to have to take the skin off. I did that by running my knife down, aiming towards the skin, that way you don't cut any of the flesh off. So yeah, now back to cutting it into strips. I'm going to do that with the whole fish, and then I'm going to get to paneing. So I've got plain white flour, 3 beaten eggs and some Panko breadcrumbs. You're going to coat it in the flour, dip it in the egg, and then you're going to remember that you forgot to put the nori sheet dust in the Panko breadcrumbs, and I'm going to show you how to make that now. What I did was take 2 sheets of nori, cut them up into manageable pieces, and then I stuck them through a blender and just blitzed it until it was fine. This one didn't work too well. I actually blitzed it in a proper food processor after, so you might need to do that. So mix that through the panko, just till it's all incorporated. And then we're gonna get back to dredging. So flour, egg mixture, into the panko. And you have to make sure all the fish is covered. You don't want any of the oil getting directly onto that. Finish paneing the rest of your fish. It should look somewhat like mine, but if they all look different, doesn't matter, we don't discriminate around here. Now we're going to make the tartar sauce. So that's 2 large tablespoons of mayonnaise, full fat or light is fine. I've got 3 cornichons, I've got the juice from the capers that we're about to use. It's about 1 or 2 tablespoons, I'd say. We're going to finely slice those. Like, run your knife through it as much as you need to, and then just get that in the bowl. Then I've got some dill. I'm using the stalks and the leaves. Get that really finely sliced. If you don't want to use dill, you can use parsley if you like, it's not a problem. We're going to add about a tablespoon of lemon juice, maybe a tablespoon and a half. We're going to add, we're not going to add salt because we've got plenty of salt from cornichons, the brine and the capers, but we are going to add a bit of black pepper. Just mix that together until it's all incorporated, and once it is, just make sure you have a little taste for seasoning, or maybe you want to add some more dill, and then just have another one because it's peng. We're going to clean down a bit, then we're going to get to the oil. You want to fill up your oil to about halfway up the pan. If you've got a probe, use it. We want it to be roughly 170, 180 degrees Celsius. It's going to take a while to heat up as well, so in that time just hydrate, check your phone, check your Instagram, and then we're going to get to frying these bad boys. So you're going to lower them in and away from you as to not splash yourself with hot oil, obviously. And then we're going to move them around, make sure they're not touching the bottom or burning, and we're going to take them out in about 4 minutes or so till they're nice golden, crispy, or again, if you've got a thermometer, till they're about 50 degrees Celsius. And you want to hit that with salt as soon as they've come out, really, because the salt's going to adhere to it being hot and oily. Right, you're going to do that with the rest. Have them on a lined baking sheet. Just keep them to the side. Now we're going to get a nice white crusty loaf. This is nice and fluffy on the inside, so we're going to do quite thick slices. If your bread isn't this fluffy on the inside, I advise maybe doing slightly thinner slices. Then we're going to get our butter out and then pretend like we used that butter, but actually use margarine because our butter hadn't melted quite enough to use it. Then we're going to stack on our fish fingers. We're going to get a lot on there. We're going to dollop a hefty amount of this tartar sauce on there. You really want to taste that. And then obviously, because that's quite fatty, we've deep fried the fish fingers. We want something to cut through that fat. So I'm using a fairly big handful of rocket. You can use lettuce if you like. You can use watercress. And then all we're going to do is slice it in half. Everyone does it differently. Some people just slice it in half. Some people do it diagonally. And if you're a f***ing monster, then maybe you do it lengthwise. I don't know. But either way, we're going to do it. We're going to open it up. We're going to have a look. We're going to take maybe more videos of it than we really need to. But that's it. Tell a lie, there is one more step, but it's just to eat the bloody thing. Hope you enjoyed that one. Like I said before, it's one of my favourites, and I think it's a really versatile one. Once you've learned how to pane and fry the fish, there's loads of different, like you can do it with different breads, different sauces. Yeah, it's one of my favourites. So thanks for watching again. Like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments like your favourite sandwiches, if you've got a particular one that's like your go-to, or any that you'd like to see me make. Let me know, and I'll see you next time in a bit.